Welcome. This is Barry Jones from the Angel School again, and I'm returning with sort of a review of the discarded Angel Oracle deck by Chrissie Astell. She is from England, and the author, and it's been a while since I have um, had the cards and started working with them, I'd say in the last month. I just, at first, did, I kind of, with decks, I'm just sort of drawn to them, and when it's the right time, it doesn't really mean anything when I don't um, feel ready to work with them at the point when I purchased them, or in this case, these were sent to me as a gift to review. So it began for me working with them when I was going through a very intense period. I just saw the month of June, so that's when it was, when it probably started. When I can't talk about this because it sort of involves, um, it's not like anything big, but it's just between, I'll just put it this way, um, another party that I don't want to disclose anything about them or to make it seem like it's anything negative about them. So that's why I don't want to mention in any way what it is. But but it's a company, and I'll just say it like that. So the thing is that it's about what I learned about myself, um, and sort of the patterns that come up for me and how I deal with very difficult challenges in my life that where I feel sort of inferior, and powerless, and for me it could be dealing with things of you know things that challenge me. It can be things like okay, so simple. It could be um, thinking about a new opportunity, and wondering if I'm qualified for this or not. It could be anything, especially for me with financial matters, because I'm not a business kind of person. I've always hated like selling things when I was a kid. Um, I just don't like selling people anything. I want them to see that in me and decide that that's what they need. So these kind of things challenge me, and other things as well that I may think of along the way. But it's not important. Is that when I started to use the deck, I decided to come to this deck not to just get a reading. So, but I just really came to the deck because I just needed to the comfort of the angels, and that was the struggle I was having with this deck, was how to use it, how to read with it, and all that kind of stuff. And with the angels, you know, it's not so much about reading, but about them helping you to find alignment with your soul, with your true purpose in the moment. And so they will assist you in any way that they can that will actually help you. And sometimes we, from the perspective of our ego, we want to know an answer that we feel that we are incapable of retrieving or deciding for ourselves. And it's a thing where we just kind of feel like we're weak in the face of the entire universe. When we feel inferior to the universe, it's like you really cut yourself off because you are the universe. The universe is within you and you're within it. And so the thing is that what I would suggest in working with these cards is to not try to receive an answer. And it's not because these cards aren't good at that or could do that, but I find that the practical approach when you're reading for yourself and is that you just want to connect in. I mean, that's really what you want. That's what you're really seeking. You want to feel connected. You want to know that you're not strung out here by yourself um, in the challenges that you're facing in your day. And the only reason that you think that you're facing challenges is because you don't feel adequate in that moment to to deal with what is causing you to suffer. And so I think the first card I remember pulling, and I'm not going to talk too much about the book because she, she gives you some really interesting concepts in the book about the card. And at first I got stuck on because you can see some of the cards are color coded, and the each archangel, there are four archangels she uses: Archangel Uriel, Raphael, Michael, and Gabriel. And based on what you may know, let's say from Doreen Virtue's Oracle decks, Diana Cooper is another person I've recently discovered for angels, and maybe Kyle Gray. The systems are a little bit different, slightly about colors, like things that you may have associated from one to the other, and none of this really matters. It really doesn't. But I am like you, and when I approached this deck, I got really kind of stuck in my mind, and I noticed that it was there. It was almost like the tarot. That there were these four different archangels, sort of like the four different suits, and there were almost, I think, the same number of cards, including quartz, but none of them are labeled in this way at all. And my mind was trying to go there because I was, so I worked so much with the tarot cards. And so I just had to put them away and just let them sit until such time they called me when I was in the right place to receive them, and work with them. Um, and so I'm sort of seeing here the word challenge. That this deck is here to help you. The angels want to come to you when you're dealing with challenges and help you to champion them. So what I've been doing with this deck is I've just been pulling a card, let's say, no matter what is going on, whatever kind of emotional position I'm in, whatever sort of the environment of my emotions are at the time. And when I feel like I need just a message, I just need not even a message, but just an angel. And when I started working with this, the first card I think I pulled was the card Forgiveness. And when I did this such thing, I can't remember the moment, but I just, sort of stood there and I just closed my eyes and I just meditated, meaning I just called in the angel of forgiveness. And it was so beautiful. I felt this particular angel's energy just enveloped me with its wings, and it was like being inside of I can't even describe it. It was like walking into one of those booths, and you just got like this energy shower, and you just felt so many things just let go, fall off of me. It's just sort of it's like taking a shower, and just the shower just kept sort of loosening those layers of the dirt, and just kind of just kept just kept releasing, and the more it kept releasing, the better I felt, and the more balanced I felt, and the more energized and rejuvenated, refreshed I felt. And as I was getting that shower, I just saw like little words, um, and those words sort of communicated a sentence. So for me, this is how sometimes it works for me when I see words. They either are writing out a sentence, but that rarely happens. It's almost as we all already understand what the angels are trying to say, so they kind of they're like prompts, and I just get the full sentence or message that is being conveyed. And so this is the way that I've been working with the cards. I will take a look at like this card over here, Beauty. I've pulled that card a couple of times, and right now these cards I just pulled randomly. I was told to pull 5 cards. I shuffled the deck, and I kept cutting, and I pulled these cards. The forgiveness card, they only pulled 4, and I was told 4 to 5, and so I only came up with 4, and so I thought of the forgiveness card because that was the most profound experience I had, and so I pulled that out. But like this card, and I know there's another card with this water, and I connected with the ripples in this water, and it made me think of vibration. And so I just allowed myself to just sit in the energy of this card Beauty, and in this beautiful vibration. I just really just called upon this angel of beauty, and just allow myself to rest in this vibration of beauty. And it's like you have to, with these cards, things will trigger in your consciousness. Different aspects will be a trigger for you, and that can be a profound message from that angel to you. Okay, and it's like a code. It's like I feel like some of the things in this card, the pictures, are like codes that just sort of activate a message or a memory or a situation or concern, and it kind of just helps to soothe that or bring that into balance. I mean, I'm indicating some of these things. I'm just telling you from my experience, but you may have and you will have a profoundly different experience, and that is correct because it's happening for you. All right, there's no right way to do this. But the one message I felt like I really want to tell you is, we go to the angels. You have your oracle cards and your angel cards and your tarot cards, and personally, you're always going when you want an answer. And when you're wanting the answer, you're already too far out there in your despair to really get the answer that you wanted in the first place. Because if you wanted the answer, you would have received it when it came early and immediately. You're inspired and you don't listen to inspiration. Sometimes it's not what you want to hear. A lot of times it's not what we want to hear. And so we totally ignore it on purpose. I'm just going to be frank with you. And then you want to spin your wheels, going around trying to find somebody to validate what you want to hear. And you're not going to be satisfied when you hear that. You're just not. Even if it's like every detail of what you hear, you're not going to be satisfied. It'll last for like a little while, and then a few days maybe, and then all of a sudden something in your life happens. It doesn't have to relate to that. It's something just happens, and now you throw everything up in the air, and now you're confused because it's all over the floor. Sort of the analogy here I'm trying to put. And so the thing is that none of this helps. So go to the angels without seeking an answer. I find, like, even when I'm singing, when I don't need something, like, I learned this when I had a performance recently after, learning about my voice and all over again and in a beautiful way. It's been so spiritual. It's been so much a part of my spiritual growth. But I finally realized I was just going to stand up there and try not to sing. I'm just going to open my mouth and let whatever comes out, but I'm not going to try to perform, try to act, try to do anything. Just going to just stand there and do it. And lo and behold, boy, when you try to create, what's the word I'm trying to say? When you try to beat nothing, it's impossible, and everything comes in. All kinds of something occurs, and that's exactly what happened to me. And I feel like that's the way we really need to approach the angels, and which what may be a stumbling block, um, because you're looking for an answer instead of just connecting with them and then getting from that connection what you need, whatever it is. I mean, it's like, how can you step into the unknown if we're always looking for something specific that is known to you? Then you really can't change, right? So, yeah, like one day I pulled this card and I was having this, all of a sudden this influx of, relationship opportunities. And like I was like, okay, this is strange, and and I was thinking about one person specifically, but what I realized, it's not necessarily the answer that I was looking for that one specific person. It was indicating the entire um, area of my life was now going to have this abundance of opportunities, meaning the universe is has created the party, you know, and sent out the invitations, and you get yours, and at this party is going to be all these opportunities, and I'm not talking about place and party, but I mean energetically, the place energetically, and all that. But the thing is that they're setting it up, but I have to be willing to witness the reality. And I've caught myself saying, "Oh, this can't be. This is so weird. Why is this happening? Like all of a sudden, really, you really," and I'm catching myself and realizing that's what this card meant. It's happening. So just be open and don't worry about who is going to be the one or what's going to. Just have fun, and you'll know when the one that resonates with you, the relationship that resonates, you'll know. And what if this period goes by and nothing happens? It doesn't matter, because I experience this flow of abundance in this area, and at least what I would have learned from it is I know that this was always available, but because of recent shifts and things I've witnessed in myself, I've been able to witness instead of judge, that I've allowed this and many other things to happen. So it's not even just about this. You see, the less specific you get, you can recognize the specifics, but then you have to recognize the generalness of all of what this is meaning. Because abundance just doesn't happen in one area. It doesn't happen in one way. Like there's not one person. There's not just this one area of my life that's abundant. But it's going to be more. As I witness, if I can witness this area, I'll be able to witness it in more areas where I think it's lacking. It's about stopping the judgment and beginning the witness. Okay? And I mean, so it's very profound. Just, working within this way, just going and not seeking anything. So I really just sort of conclude this. Highly recommend these cards, because I, I think that they will really give you something else to think about, another a way to approach the angels, and the these are angels that she's identifying here for you, and probably obviously there are more than these angels, but it gets you starting to think about, if you can think of a situation, there's an angel for it. Just think of it that way. God has created, and so this deck. What I love about this, it encourages us to recognize that the that our guardian angels are infinite in their their positions, their love, and their focus. Okay, so start calling on the angels in these various areas, and more, for everything that you need. And I'm grateful that she has created this deck, to help remind us that when we feel stuck in the details of our life, that there are angels, guardian angels, right there in those details, ready to offer their resources, their guidance, and their love and support about that particular detail that you're struggling with. Here, I just want to turn it over again and just show you the back of the card. It's very simple. This is like a playing card set deck, very small in comparison to a Hay House card deck. I'm bringing this up because these are the Dinah Cooper's Dragon Oracle cards, and I'm going to do a review on these as well, pretty soon. These have changed my life quite profoundly, and especially with the ascension process. So, all right. So we have this deck by Chrissie Astell, and I will put you can find it on Amazon, A Guide to the Guardian Angel Oracle by Chrissie Astell. I'll try to put the link and information again where you can find this deck, and I look forward to hearing how what you think about this deck, and if and when you purchase it, if some of you've already purchased this deck, and maybe you can leave in the comments what you've discovered and your experiences, and share that so that other people can get a sort of a sense of how to work with this deck, other than the way that I've presented here. She has in the book, presented ways to do the reading, to do a reading with these cards. You know, she does an introduction, working with the cards, healing your, what does that say? I'm sorry, I'm not even showing you anything here. Sorry, I'm bad at this, right? But, just little techniques, conducting a reading, present, past, future. I think once you learn to just come to the angels without questions, but just to commune, or know that when you come, instead of asking the question, just know that when you come, that the angels already know what's in your heart, and the angel that can best help you and comfort you and guide you will come to you as a card. So in the card, so I just would pull one card to start with this deck. And you can just see here, this is the one, Angels of Forgiveness. She has an affirmation: I completely forgive myself and others. There's some information here, and then there's the symbols that she lists in the card, and maybe gives you some idea of their meaning. But I rarely use the book, but sometimes I do. But I just have enjoyed discovering the different angels and their frequency, and the way that their love is conveyed. So, thank you all for joining me for this review of the Guide to the Guardian Angel Oracle cards by Chrissie Astell, and I look forward to hearing from you soon, and see you during the weekly readings on the Angel School channel. God bless you for now. Bye bye.